morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Those who are on site and those who are online meeting. My name is Sundar. It's a great honor to be MC for the organization. I'd like to extend a warm welcome to all of you to the second meeting on measuring and comparing achievements of learning outcomes in education in Asia. You be already aware that the key purpose of the meeting tonight is to evaluate achievements of learning outcomes in the education sector. For this reason, we have arranged different knowledge sessions and presentations will be conducted in hybrid mode on the first day and second night. Is enriched with the on-site interactive workshop and online. We have a lot of people from a host of sectors, including academicians, researchers, students, and those who are already here with us to share valuable knowledge, experience, and thoughts with us. We hope this meeting will provide you with a lot of takeaway and knowledge that you advance your career in the future. If you have a query on the topic presented today's sessions, kindly provide them in the chat box so that we can address them during the Q&A sessions provided at the end of each presentation. We also would like to kindly request our participants provide with us valuable feedback through the chat box, Google Forms provided during each session. The link for the forms will be provided during each session. To begin with this meeting, it's my privilege to invite Dr. Professor the Vice President of Sukarno University to deliver an opening remarks, please.
Morning. Dear Dr. Maria Delos, Training Academy, University of Connecticut, Netherlands, the manager of the CALOHEA program. Distinguished delegates from ASEAN University Network. I would like also to welcome representatives of international and national institutions. All the CALOHEA team members, all the participants who attend in both online and on-site from Sukarno University, National University of Laos, Solengate University, Pasar University, Global Teacher Training College, Global Technical Vocational College, College of Health Science, Global. I feel very honored and proud to present the rating leadership board, professor, lecturer, teacher, staff, and students of Sukarno University to participate in the opening ceremony of the CALOHEA project, co-funded by Erasmus Plus program of the European Union with the team CALOHEA capacity building, implementing authentic assessment for more effective and holistic learning outcome in online education, which take place in Sukarno University during 2 days. It is important meeting. I would like to share my best wishes to Carolina Breaker, delegates and guests, as well as professors, lecturers, staff, students, and all participants. This biggest event is the first time that Japan University hosts this event, which is called National Meeting Round 2 for Carolina Project. This to empowering the capacity in higher education and higher institute in Laos as well as in ASEAN. This event is only possible because the cooperation and contributions of various parties such as tuning Caribbean, ASEAN, Erasmus Pass Program, ASEAN University Network, University of Trinidad, representative from international and national speakers are represented all participants. I believe that this meeting greatly benefits us or the higher education institution in the field of university, the national and field of society. This previous event, I would like to extend my best wishes to Dr. Mary Jarvis, Turing Academy University of Trinidad, Switzerland, and Manager of Carolina Program. Deans and all staff of the national and international speaker, all the participants, both online and on-site. It's my sincere privilege of officially opening this meeting from this moment on. Thank you.
Thank you very much for opening remarks. Now I want to invite Dr. Margaret Rose, International Tuning Academy, University of Trinidad, Netherlands, for opening remarks.
Good morning, Mr. Vice President, ladies and gentlemen, students, academicians, researchers, hopefully representatives of employers and wider society, those who are here on site and those who are online. On behalf of the coordinator of the University of Trinidad, on behalf of the co-coordinator of the project, ASEAN University Network, and on behalf of the European partners and the CALOHEA experts, some of whom are present here today on site, I would like to thank you all for attending this second dissemination event on the CALOHEA project in Laos. Because for us it's very important to be able to share with you what we have been discussing, developing, consulting with others, and what we hope will serve you, your universities, your students, and your country as well. So today and tomorrow will be very important days for the project to see how what we have been developing can be really applied in the context of Laos. Please participate actively, make critical comments, help us to find a way to make what we have for your students, your universities, and your country. So please be active. Thank you for your attendance, and I'm looking forward to your participation in the sessions.
Thank you, sir. Now, we would like to express our gratitude to the host university institutions, to our university vice-area and token of appreciation. I kindly request Dr. the Vice President on the stage to receive the token. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, before starting the main session, I'd like to invite all speakers, guests, and participants on the stage for the group photo. Please be on the stage. All participants. Thứ sao to make sure you can see your face. Thank you very much, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. We are going to start our conversation soon. Now let me proceed to the next session of the program. The topic is entitled Challenges Potential Assessment to Promote Student Mobility, Degree Recognition, Internationalizations, Industry-Ready Graduates, Prospect Challenges under the national and higher education institution context. Then, sorry. Let me start the meditation, serialization. The first topic of discussion will be the CALOHEA project overview in Southeast Asia and around the world. This topic will be presented by Dr. Mary Jones, teaching academy from Birmingham University. So I would like to invite Dr. Mary on the stage, please.
Good morning once again. My task this time is to try to give you an overview of the project. It's not a very simple project, so perhaps some things will be better understood after you have discussed in the sessions. But I will be trying to lay the foundations, something which you can refer to when you discuss in the afternoon with the experts about what has been done in each subject area. Because in the project we work, and I will explain, in 3 subject areas, in civil engineering, teacher education, and medicine. Yes, I will start talking, and then when the slides are available, we will also look at the slides. The CALOHEA project is working towards internationalization through improving recognition. Slides, you can see. By the way. Okay. Sorry. So first, let's see who are the members of the project, okay, so that you can get an idea about who has been contributing, where your university is in this project, where the other partners are. Okay, first, okay. So let's change. Sorry. So the first, what I was saying, the project works on internationalization through looking at recognition. Because if you want to internationalize the curricula, it's very important that also others in the region and beyond recognize what you're doing, what your students are learning, what your graduates are achieving. So in the project, we are developing recognition mechanisms, tools which can allow universities to make sure that the periods of study and the degrees are recognized beyond their own institutions, their own country, and also later beyond the Southeast Asia. Now I will try to change the slides. So now you can see who the partners are. We have 7 countries in Southeast Asia, and we have a number of countries in Europe. So it's quite a big consortium. If you know other Erasmus Plus projects and it has its challenges, but it also has a lot of benefits. Because when we talk about recognition, the more voices we can bring on board, the more recognizable and applicable the products will be. And as I was saying, that academics from different universities in Southeast Asia and also in Europe work together in subject areas. Because although internationalization and recognition is a universal issue, it is much easier, much more productive to discuss it with the colleagues from the subject area. Because finally, if you are in civil engineering, you want your students and parents to be recognized by other academics and employers in civil engineering. And if you are in teacher education, you would like to discuss with teacher educators in other countries and prepare something which can be recognized by universities and by employers. So the three subject areas are the civil engineering, the teacher education, and medicine. In Laos, just to make sure that we are all clear about this, we have 2 universities who are partners in the project, and they participate in 2 subject areas, in civil engineering and in teacher education. What are these 3 recognition mechanisms? Because as I mentioned, these are our key focus points, and this is something we will hear a lot about during today's and tomorrow's sessions. But let me briefly introduce them. The names are quite long, so please don't get scared. But the first one, I will read it there, it's about creation and use of regional, subject-specific qualifications and assessment reference frameworks. I will explain it in more simple language, so that you can see also the full name. Because we want to create tools which will allow you to compare learning outcomes of your programs. How you can have a tool which allows you to map your program and compare it with others in the region and beyond. The second recognition mechanism is about the student workload, the time which students spend in order to achieve the learning outcomes. Again, maybe you are more familiar with this in terms of credits, but we look at the student workload because credits have different projects, while the student workload is a common denominator. And finally, our third recognition mechanism is about assessment. Because if you want to promote recognition, you need to be sure that you can demonstrate that your students actually achieve which you say you want them to achieve. And we call it authentic assessment in order to make sure that the assessment tasks we give our students allow them to show what we and the society and the industry and employers want them to show once they have graduated. So we have these 3 recognition mechanisms, and more importantly, we have our experts, researchers, academics, who are becoming more and more skillful and knowledgeable in the use of these recognition mechanisms, and also in getting others on board. Because sometimes in the project, you are very much in the topic, but then you have to deal with the colleagues who have not heard anything about it. And it's also very important competence to be able to explain to others what we are talking about, why this is important, how it can benefit others, and how we can adapt it. So we are building this network of champions of internationalization. Now, I want to point on 2 key principles behind the whole work of the project. One is transparency. If we want to promote internationalization through recognition, we need transparency. As much transparency as we can get. Because imagine that this is your program. You see, it's just You have built a perfect product, but nobody knows what's inside, because only you know. So how will others recognize and understand? Then you say, okay, I want to cooperate with another university in another country or in my own country. They start asking you questions. And in response to their questions, you give them access to some information about your product. So remember, you open a hole in this box. Then if there are more cooperation, more exchanges, more mobility, you say, okay, I will try to open up my box as much as I can without destroying the box, because my problem still has to be my problem. You say, okay, this is not about opening and breaking your box or about opening it up. Let's try to develop the program in such a way that it's transparent from the start. Then you don't need to be in a reactive mode. You build it in such a way that also others can understand. So just keep in mind that this transparency is key for everything we are going to discuss, for all the three recognition mechanisms. And the other key idea is something that first we call a common language, because we said it's very important to have a common language if we want to promote recognition and internationalization. There is, however, a small problem with the common language, because we still everybody wants to keep our own culture, our own language. So now, what we're saying is that we're looking for a common reference, because what might happen is that people all try to use if we all try to change and we don't use our languages, it will for our cultures, our codes, we might have problems with our own recognition and accreditation agencies. And this is not the aim. We want to make sure that we can still meet all the requirements of our national legislations, because you know that medicine, civil engineering, and teaching education are quite heavily regulated in every country. But we express things in such a way that others can understand. Again, if we don't have a model, it may be very clear for people in our own culture to share our own language. But it's still not clear for others. So let us look for common references. And this is what we have been trying to do in all our activities. Okay, now back to the recognition mechanisms, because this is my key topic. Simplifying. The first recognition mechanism is about identifying the aim. What do we want our graduates, our students to learn? What do academics or academicians, employers, society, graduates and students want to see in the graduates, in the students of our programs? What is very what, I think it's also the term we should use, what are industry-ready graduates look like? What do they know? What can they do? What kind of responsibilities they are ready to assume? And how do we know what is valued beyond, in this case, powers? What is valued at the level of the Southeast Asia? So in our first recognition mechanism, these were the questions we were discussing. And when you see the frameworks which we propose, they are the responses to these questions. Our second recognition mechanism, which is the student workload focused, is about how do we organize the learning of our students. Because I will use this English later on as well. There are some activities our students do in the classrooms or in the presence of the academics, in the presence of the teachers, when we see them. But we hope that our students also learn beyond the time when we see them. So when we are talking about recognition, we are talking about the full scope, the full time our students dedicate to learning, the full time they need to dedicate to achieve the learning outcome which we value. We can organize their learning differently, more time in contact hours, less time beyond, or more time beyond, less in contact hours, but for recognition we need to have a full picture. So our second recognition is about how do we verify this full picture, because if we don't see the students, how can we know how much time they're spending on them. And the third one, which is about authentic assessment, perhaps the easiest we can say is something like quality control. Because we say where we want our students to get, we checked all the time so that it's feasible, and then we say, are they really getting there? We would have the tools, because we can say, oh, we want our graduates to be creative, they want them to be leaders. These are all things we want, but how do we know what is enough? Because at the university they will only get so much. They will continue developing throughout their lives when they're working and going up, etc. But we need to know at the university we say that we will get our students to a certain point of learning outcome. We need to have means to check. Are they on the right way? Are they getting to the aim by the time we do that diploma? So this is our third recognition mechanism. Now, it's a kind of cyclical presentation, spiral, that's called. So, first, to say that we, as a project, everybody who participated in the project, are working within the OBE, outcomes-based education framework. So, for us, when we talk about the program, when you are designing or redesigning the program, the first question is about the kind of the graduate which you want to achieve. And here, when you are responding to this question from your own university and your own program, you will think of the context for which you are preparing the graduates. The country, the society, your region, etc. Secondly, you will think about your university. Something makes an engineer from your university different from the engineer from another university in your own country. Or all graduates from your university different from all graduates from another university. Because you want to give them something specific so that they can say, I went to this university and therefore my presentation skills are strong. Or I'm more committed to society because this was the focus. Whatever it is, research, some particular competencies, there is something you want all the students to have because they went to your university. But then there is this last element, also we call it PDR profile. And these are the elements of the graduate profile which allow recognition. So it means that if you do not have these elements, you can say, oh, we have prepared teachers. But others will say, well, we think there is something missing for us to recognize them as teachers. Or you say, we have prepared civil engineers. And they say, well, but actually there's something very, very important. And if the students don't have this knowledge or skills, or they're not ready to assume this kind of responsibilities, we cannot recognize them as civil engineers in our country. So this is what this mental profile is what we have been discussing, and you will see it expressed in the frameworks of the first recognition mechanism. What we will be presenting in the first recognition mechanism has been created by academics, has been consulted with employers and with graduates. So it's very important that it's not only coming from the university, but that we have the feedback from other actors. It's also fully compatible with the ASEAN reference qualification framework level 6. Okay? Because we are developing something for the whole region, we are developing at the level of the subject areas, but we want to make sure that it's compatible with the regional reference framework. This is the form. Okay, so what you will see is a kind of table which has knowledge, skills, and responsibilities, and they are grouped in dimensions and subdimensions. You will see examples, but just so that you already start preparing yourselves mentally, because you can express this mental profile in different ways. It can be a picture, like the one you see on the left. In this case, it's a poem, which gives more information, more ideas for formulating learning outcomes. And it also is fully compatible with the national qualification frameworks, national reference documents, and other elements which you need to take into account if you're preparing the program, for example, in the context That's why we make sure that we have all this information on board. Plus, we try to challenge ourselves and think of the future. It's not only what we need now, but hopefully, as far as we can predict, because we know that the life is quite unpredictable, what we think the tendencies are, what the society and employers will need from our methods in the upcoming years. So this is kind of summing up the recognition is number one. This is what you can expect. You will hear more about it today in the afternoon, already about your particular subject area papers, and tomorrow in the workshops. Now the second one, about how do we organize the learning of our students. This is student workload painting. In the project, we guided all what we have been doing by three key questions. First, and maybe this is the question you are also having now, is why do we need to make this full student workload visible if we are talking about recognition? Because sometimes you have it in paper, because you already have that kind of credit system, and you say, well, this is maybe something more bureaucratic, something more for an accreditation agency, but what does it have to do with internationalization and recognition? So we will be discussing it more, sharing our ideas, but this is where we start. The second one, once you are convinced and you understand why it is important for recognition, then you ask yourself, okay, but how can I find out? Because I know when my students are with me, but when they're not with me, how do I know how much time they're spending on learning? And finally, because we believe in the capacity and the potential of the discussions about student workload as a very strong instrument for promoting internationalization, recognition, but also simply the quality of programs. We said, okay, how do we make it a part of the university culture? Again, so that it's not something only on paper, but it's something to which every person who teaches in the program pays attention to, plans for, estimates, contrasts with the students, and how do the students into these discussions? Because we found out that sometimes we ask the students how much time they spend, and it's a question which can be surprising for the students. They have never thought about it. So we need to install this culture where our academics and our students are seeing it as something beneficial for everybody and are engaged in these kind of discussions, monitoring data collection improvements. So as I already said, when we talk about the full student workload, we talk about the contact hours and what we call the independent works, the work in better focus of the unseen, the time that you don't see your students, but they are doing the tasks for your boss, the tasks which you set to them. And this is the image which we keep using in the project, but hopefully for some of you it will be the first time you see. You see that this is a kind of iceberg. Above the waterline are the contact hours, because these are very clear. You know how much time the students need to spend in every course per week or per semester with the academics, with the lecturers, in the seminars, etc. But there is this part below the waterline. And this is the full picture. In recognition, remember, we need to be transparent. We need to give information about the full picture. And here, again, transparency is recognition, but our common reference is the student learning time. Not the time in the content hours, but the learning time. Because the question is how much time is unseen part. Because you cannot say, oh, my students come to class twice a week. And somebody else says, my students come to class 4 times a week. Doesn't mean that those who come to class 4 times a week study twice as much. If we only look at content hours, it seems so. But it's not the whole truth. Because if we have good quality programs, our students are also studying beyond the content hours. We do expect them to do the tasks. We do expect them to at least go through the notes of the lecture, We do expect them to prepare for assessments. So all this time, we expect them to be learning in order to pass the course, in order to meet the learning outcomes of the course. Is the student learning time? Just the different programs and different lectures, different countries organize and distribute this time differently. There might be a rule in your country that for every hour in the classroom, you have 2 hours behind the classroom. Or there might be a different, might be no rule. How do we all bring it together? Through looking at the student learning time. Because again, the same idea. When we look at the numbers in the past about the water, we can say, okay, these are the same amounts. But then when we look at the full picture, they're not the same amounts. That's why for recognition, we need to have a full picture. So I'm just making it a very simple way, but then hopefully we can relate, we can see how it can help recognition. So once we were convinced that this is important to know the full picture, not only what is above the water, we started using the different instruments. Or maybe we started using the first and the group of next. Sometimes also efforts together. We used 4 tools in the project. And these are the tools you will be hearing more about today, afternoon, and tomorrow. Because the idea is that you see how these tools can work for you. Which of them you can adapt, you can try. Which of them can help you improve the quality, recognition, and internationalization of your programs. The first one we call desk estimation. Maybe simple, but sometimes not so simple. The idea is that all those who teach in a particular program come together and say, in order for my students to pass my course, to meet the learning outcomes, I believe they need to spend so many hours during the semester. And each lecturer, each teacher in the program will share this information. Then we will have this desk estimation because we were sitting. It's just a name, but the idea is that we're sitting around the desk and we are discussing. This is the academics estimation without having consulted students. Just what we think it will take the students. The second one, we call the end of semester questionnaire. So once a particular semester is over, you choose, you can do it every semester. Then you start with choosing one semester. And you will say, okay, who, for example, year 1, semester 2, if you have semester system. Okay, just for example, we're assuming the 2. And then you will do, in this particular program, what are the courses which are taught in year 1, semester 2? Who are the teachers who teach these courses? Who are the students who follow these courses this particular year? And then for each teacher, we will ask more or less the same question. Okay? How much time do you think it took your students to complete the tasks? But we will also ask a bit more detailed what are the tasks you are asking the students to do, and how much time it took per week and in the whole semester. And then we will ask approximately 10 students per course about the same thing. So the students who follow each of the courses and who passed them. How much time it took them per week and during the whole semester in order to complete all the tasks in a particular course. You ask the students who are the best ones, the highest achievers. You ask the students who just passed. So those who failed, they don't want to pass because probably they didn't dedicate enough time to the studies. But those who passed, plus, and then those who are in the middle. So you have a range. And again, you get the estimation, but this time, both from academics and from the students. And again, we ask per week, and we ask for the whole semester, and we try to break it down into different types of activities. If you ask them to do the readings, how much you can have in the readings. If you ask them to do presentations, how much this to them. So again, you have another picture, more details, what is an estimation. The third tool we use to call it a diary or a notebook because it's really very, very detailed. We asked our participants in the project, our experts, to choose one of the courses they taught, to choose 3 weeks in this course, and really to write down on paper what tasks students were doing in class during these 3 weeks, and what tasks the lecturer, the academic, the teacher expected the students to do outside of the classroom in preparation for the next session, in doing assignments, in preparation for assessment. Then we asked our academics to share this information with the students, and after the students completed the tasks, to ask the students to say, okay, task per task, how much time it actually took them to complete the tasks. Okay? As many students as possible, so that we get a variety of responses, and then with the idea that you as an academic can reflect. And you can also improve your capacity to estimate the student workload. Because maybe you are very good in estimating how much time it will take your students to do a particular reading, but not how much time it takes them to prepare a group project. So as academics, we also need to become better and better in estimating the time our students spend on the tasks we give them. Again, you will hear more about this from the experts, so with the pure subject area will happen. And just this is the exercise, or this is the tool. And finally, as you can see, the first three tools give you information, give you numbers, give you data, but they don't explain anything. So when we have applied the first three tools, we had a lot of questions. We tried to respond to them, and then we said the fourth tool will be the focus group discussion, where we actually bring students and academics and say, okay, why do you think this is happening? These are our possible explanations. Do you have other possible explanations? Because we are working on it together. We need to have the dialogue, we need to learn from each other. So this was our first tool, completely qualitative. Whether we got the responses that we can use forever, no. It's always an exercise. But it's important to be developing this culture. So what we did, we collected the data, we discussed the data, we reflected on how this will help us enhance the curriculum. And that what we hope that we achieved in general, that we could engage students, academics, the different stakeholders in this discussion. Because as I said, and just please don't get demotivated, it's not something you can measure once and for all. It's something which has to become part of the process. But for that, we need to get everybody on board. Because maybe you believe in it, but your students don't. Or you believe in it, but their colleagues don't. So it's really a question of installing the culture of discussing, measuring, estimating, monitoring the student workload. And what is most important is that we track these 4 tools. But these are not the only tools or the tools. There is that every program, every institution can adapt them. And what is important is that you have a system, you have your own tools for measuring and monitoring the workload. Whatever works for you is the best. So you will hear from our experts what they think now about the instruments. Because before you try them, you can think very abstractly. It's good, it can be useful. But once you try them, then you can say, oh, the next time I would like to add another question. The next time I would like to change the format slightly. And this is important, that you find something which works for you. So this was done at the level of every program, every institution, but we also hope that at the level of the project for the Southeast Asian region, we can come up with certain recommendations, how this can be made part of the culture at the level of the region. And this is why the discussions in the national meeting. So today, what we have, we call the national meeting, because although we come from different countries, it's particularly in-house, it's particularly to get feedback from our academics, students, employers, etc. So in these discussions, we also are getting information which we can use later on in preparing recommendations for the region. This slide is just to show that what we are doing is also in line with the student-centered higher education. Because we are not focusing on the inputs anymore, we are focusing on the outputs, on the learning outcomes, and we are not focusing only on the time that actually is with the students, but on what the students, the time the students are dedicated. Okay, always with the students. What are the students learning? What are the students spending in terms of time? And now the third recognition begins, the authentic assessment. What makes authentic assessment, or what makes assessment authentic? Sorry for the animation. Because maybe this is a term which you have heard, but for many of us it was a new term. And it's not important whether you use this term or not. What is important is that they use the principles, that the principles are there. And look at the ones in blue and green and kind of red. If your assessment is authentic, it means that you give your students tasks which they are likely to do after they graduate. You remember that we are talking about knowledge, about skills, and about preparing students to assume certain responsibilities. Knowledge, you can probably check in a written test task in multiple choice, although it also can be discussed. But when we're talking about skills, the students need to be able to demonstrate the skills. Otherwise, it's difficult to know whether they will be able to apply these skills or not. And the same with assuming responsibilities. You would like the students to be able to work together with others on projects. How do you know if they are able to do it or not? If you don't ask them to work together with others in projects, and you don't give them feedback on how well they are working, or what else they can improve to work better. So the idea is that we need to give them real-life context, real-life tasks. If this is too dangerous, because you are preparing the doctor and you don't want your students to operate it, well, ask them something which is as similar as possible. The same with engineers, because maybe they should not be building things which can collapse yet, but something they should be doing already. And with teachers, I think maybe teacher education is the most daring subject area because nobody could send student teachers to schools, and they are already doing something with the learners while they are still learning. So this is the idea, okay? If you want the students to achieve something, allow them possibilities to demonstrate how they are doing it during their studies. Don't wait for them to graduate and do it for the first time when they're employed. It is also very important in this assessment that there are clear performance criteria. Because quite often academics know what a good quality performance is, but students don't know. And if we don't make this effort to articulate it, to say, oh, we know what quality is, yeah, that's very good, but what about our students? Our students need to know what the quality is. So we need to have these standards clear. Sometimes it's a rubric, sometimes these are performance criteria, whatever, but they need to be not only in the head of the academics, but clear and understood by the students. Because this way, if you practice criteria, it's easier to give feedback to the students. It obliges you to give feedback to the students, but it's also more valuable for the student learning. It also means that the students can understand what is quality and they know where they need to put their attention, their efforts in the next steps. It also means that students will learn how to monitor their own performance again, because once they graduate and go, you will not be there to tell them this is good and this is bad. They need to be able to say, okay, this I'm doing very well, but here I can still improve. That's why it's very important that the students understand the criteria of quality, performance criteria. And which you get in the beginning, it's also good to remember that authentic assessment fosters better learning. It is more relevant and it's also higher quality because the tasks you are giving are really similar to real life. You learn, you help the students learn to monitor the performance. Now, this is just to show, because my time is running out, what we did in this project. We started with diagnosing our own problem, diagnostic. Where are we? Are we already using something of authentic assessment? Do we know what it means? How many people in my program know what it means? Does somebody have an example? Because always the theory is the theory, but these examples which help us understand what it looks like, how we can apply it. From the starting point, we developed an action plans. Because we are all at different starting points, but we all want to move closer to implementing authentic assessment. What can we do? So this was probably not an easy task you will hear from the experts, but we said, okay, challenge yourself. Do it at the level of learning outcomes of the courses and try to do something for improvement level learning outcomes. So this is something which the plans were developed and they are now implemented. So you will hear how this is done in different partner institutions. And then finally, also for those who are not part of the consortium who wanted to offer examples. If you want to implement authentic assessment, where can you look for examples? So we're creating this compilation of inspirational examples. Again, per subject area, some examples for teaching education, some examples for civil engineering, some examples for medicine. Because we know that sometimes we see, and it's easier to adapt to our own students, our own courses. Finally, back to the network. This is the very end of the presentation. The idea that by joining us today, whether on site or online, we hope that it will convince you to also join our network, our community, and then make sure that your students, your programs, and your institution benefit from this recognition and association. Thank you very much. I know that sometimes it's overwhelming, but this is the foundation. Okay, now when you hear the presentations, it will be easier to refer to these ones.
Thank you very much, Tamara, for sharing insights about authentic assessment or sharing a big picture of authentic assessment in Asian countries as well as the world. Now, let me let us to move on to the Q&A sessions. So I kindly request that the audience share any questions, and those who are online can share questions through the chat box. And our assistant can maybe some of our participants are willing to share perspectives or questions in English. You can share questions in loud, so we can interpret it into English. So yeah, that was a good session. So. Yeah. So that is time for Q&A sessions. As I mentioned before, if you are willing to share your thoughts in English, you can share it in and those who online, you can share your question or perspective to the thoughts. I think there is no further question from our audience. So on behalf of everyone, I'd like to thank Dr. Mary Barrows for sharing the valuable thoughts and time with us. Thank you. Let me proceed to the next session of our program. The topic is challenges of authentic assessment to promote student mobility degree recognition, internationalization, industry-ready graduates, prospect challenges, and the national and higher education institution context. For these sessions, we have actually in the beginning, the early beginning, we have 4 speakers, but one of our speakers could not present today. So sorry for that. So we have 3 speakers for these sessions. We have Associate Professor Dr. Rana Gokusan, Director of General Department of Higher Education, Youth Education and Sports. We have Dr. Gokusan, Center Vice President of Superman University. And we have Mr. Tonka Kumswa, the Director of the International Integration Office. Ladies and gentlemen, now let's move on to the next positions. Please allow me to invite Dr. Messenger, Vice President of Superman University, to talk about policymakers from government and universities specializing in recognition of qualification, assessment frameworks, recognition of degree programs, and internationalization as well.
So, good morning. My title is President for the Government and University, and the detail I believe that my data is answer the question about and try to explain what we are doing, and I will talk about the policy of the government and the strategy for the scheme of education and sport. Next, I will explain the detail of the Sultan University, and then I will talk what we are doing now and the further that we will try. Okay, actually, the Lao vision that we have the strategy to the 2013. We try not to move up to the European country upper and middle of the income, and also green and sustainable for the 2013. And for the strategy, they have a lot of the details on the textbook, more than 100 pages. So I will show you some of the strategy that we find that the countries for the economic of strategy based on quality, balance, and sustainable. And all the goal, we also try to reform SDG of the world, and we just add one more. And the strategy for the human resource development. This is one strategy that we modify to do what we are moving, because the Ministry of Education and Sport, they also use this strategy to contribute about 7 strategy activities. And then university also keep it out from the Ministry of Education and Sport. This is also the subsector plan. And we have the early for the sharing and also primary school up to primary school, and also but for university we are focus on the higher education subsector. This is the third of the education plan. We also have the primary school for the 3 year. The other one is like nursery for 3 years and primary school 5 years, and also lower secondary for the 4 years, and upper secondary 3 years. And in the higher education, we have the vocational and diploma and undergraduate and master, and also now in the national university, they also have the PhD program for them. And for the high diploma, we also have the one of the curriculum that we took about 2 years for the continue from the high diploma to the bachelor degree. This is the plan for the education in the Ministry of Education and Sport. First, the children have the higher education constitute and support the social and economic. And second, promote and develop the technology. Get the program includes the artificial or AI to start needing for the university student. And second, should set of excellent for the public and higher university. To conduct the economic picture, student identify employment of the student, studying the quality of the lecturer, especially the lecturer, is not fine, and also to develop university scholarship object. And we have another level to rely for the scholarship and development. Provide 5 research development and innovation. And may you know that in Laos we have the 5 universities, 4 universities belong to the Ministry of Education and Sport. And another university for the University of Health Science belong to the Ministry of Health Science. And for Sukarno University, just established in the 2003, we have 2 campuses. The first campus is national campus, and this is the online campus. And also we have the 6 faculty, the faculty of innovation. Second is the faculty of economic and tourism. And faculty of agriculture and forestry. Faculty of engineering and faculty of architecture, and the last one is the faculty of language. When we talk about the strategy, what we are making for the Sukarno University, after we look at the national strategy and also the Ministry of Education and Sport strategy. After that, we are looking what we are at the quality in the Sukarno University, and after that we have the academic committee and also administration committee, and we give from the department preparation for the strategy, what they are looking for to make their department to do. And after that, we will combine the faculty. The faculty will submit to the academic committee or administration committee. After that, we will approved by the supervisory committee before we send to the Ministry of Education and Sport. For now, we Supano University strategy we will finish at 2025, but now we are preparing. We also have the other meeting that we're looking how to prepare our strategy for the 2026 to maybe 2040 something. We will talk about it. You see, we have 2 years for preparing for our strategy. From 2021 to 2025, we have the 6 strategy for the Sukarno University. The first is the expanding the promote student admission with exercise on the weekend and promoting the high performance of the student. Second, developing and improving education quality. For the second strategy that now we have the assessment for the quality assurance from the Ministry of Education 2 times. So now we prepare for the external assessment. And third, to promote the research and academic service. Fourth, develop administration and management system. To expand the infrastructure and facility. Six, promote regional and international cooperation. And we have 6 strategy, but we also have shortly for the vision. But for our quality of education, we focus on the teaching quality and also research outputs and service to the local community. And for the vision of the shortly of the Sukarno University, we look for the specialization and localization and globalization. Okay, this is some cloud translate completed. Yes. Then I said that after we submit to the Ministry of Education and Sport for our strategy, after that, if approved by ministry, and then Sukarno University will give the assign to the office and faculty to develop the strategy to do the action plan. This is what we are doing for the 20 year. On the beginning, we have only 7 program for the bachelor degree. But after 30 years, we have the 56, I think. And for the bachelor degree, we still have the 4 to 5 year study. For the 5 year study, we still have the architect faculty. and 41 of the authority program for the fourth year. And total of the department of the Sudan University in the sixth faculty we have the 19 department. And for the authority, we also have continue program for the 2 year for to graduate from the IT program and would like to upgrade from the diploma to the authority. For the continuing course, we have the 11 authority program. And now in Sudan University, we have 7 program for the master degree. And all the program, what we are doing, the first thing we have to need assessment from the local society, what they are needed, and after that we look forward to do the name of the program. After we got the assessments, and then we have the meeting in the department level. After that, we upgrade the meeting to the faculty. After finish and modify from the faculty level for the committee, and after that, we have the one meeting for Sudan University, and before we submit to the Ministry of Education and Sport. For the Sudan University, we have to focus. The first priority is the tourism, and second is civil engineering. And the first thing is for the tourists, because of the Lombard is the touristic city, and the second civil is the honor to the former king of Suphanu name is the one of the king of the Lao. And for 20 years, what you the bachelor we finished already 12,000 students, and the 34 master degree. And now you will see the number of the master degree they decreased because of relative the inflation, economic, and also we have the research what they are going for the student, because we open the country, and also some of the students go to Vietnam, some of the students go to the China and Thailand, and some of the students after getting the upper secondary school, and they go to Thailand. This is the ranking of the university in Laos. So Sukarno University is the second ranking in Laos. The first is the National University of Laos, and second is Sukarno University, and third is the University of Ulsan. And now this is a cooperation. We have more than 50 agreements or 50 of the MOU with the international institution. We have especially Thailand, China, Vietnam, Japan, USA, Brazil, South Korea, Indonesia, and also Vietnam. And also we have the volunteer from the Australia, China, and USA. Actually, I have another one slide. For the the collaboration with the international university. Now we have the one now at this we got the student from the Subsampana 15 students to study the lab for the 3 year, no, 3 month, 3 month and 4 months for the internship. And also we have the Vietnam curriculum, Vietnam language curriculum. And also we have the short training for the Vietnam language that they preparation to go to study in Vietnam. And now we also prepare for the student from the China to study bachelor degree for the 1.5 year in full time for the master and bachelor. And also we look forward to do the double degree with our partner, the university in our AOU. So thank you very much for joining. I wishes you all to enjoy in the city for the program and also we have the 20 anniversary from 2nd to 4th of next month. So if you are still here, please join us and we can exchange more academic talk more about how to develop our university. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for sharing insightful information on internationalization, qualification, and framework. Our next speaker will share international relations at Southampton University. For this, I'd like to invite Mr. Tom Campos, Director of International Cooperation. Please welcome.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. So, on behalf of the International Relations Office, I'd like to share with you today in 3 points, 3 main points. The first is about overview of international relations of the university. The second, talk about the challenges. And the third, talk about the strategy. Okay. So for the first part, for the overview of International Relations Office, I'm not going to go for more detail about this. So I will focus on the challenges and the strategy. So, what's that? Yeah. So technical issue. So maybe let me sing for a while, maybe one song. Okay, so for the topics that proposed is about challenges of authentic assessment to promote skill mobility, international associations, prospect and challenges, and national and higher education in its context. So Let's move on. So the first part, I'm gonna talk about the overview of international relations of the Spanish University. So for the international relations office, we do have a vision and motto. The vision is friendship, consistent cooperation, transparency, and fair service. The motto is far-reaching vision, modern linking with international community. So the office consists of 4 divisions and there are 13 staff. So now I think we have a perfect team to serve international relations in our university. Yeah. So, what's wrong? That's the time. The responsibilities of the IRO is to cooperate with internal and external institutions. The second is consider to sign bilateral and multilateral agreements. The third, welcoming internal and external delegation with the leadership board of Sparrow University. Next, accompany leadership board of Sparrow University when visiting other university or organization. And next, searching for funding for university and managing international projects. Carrying out implementary tasks signed by the university leadership board. Next, for the role and activities. So, IRO role and activities for IRO of Sparrow University of Laos are implemented depending on the university's strategic plans. So focus on 6 strategic plans. The first is expanding and promoting student admission. Second, developing and improving education quality. Third, promoting scientific research and academic service. The fourth, develop administration and management system. Fifth, expanding infrastructure and facilities. And the sixth, promoting internal and external cooperation. For the university cooperation, as the Vice President has mentioned, now as we have 65 already, but I did not put it here because it's not accepted by the Ministry of Education yet. As you see, so the agreements, all the agreements cover like the first of exchange of scholar, researchers, faculty, and staff members. Second, of exchange the students. The third, of exchange the publication and relevant academic information and mutual interest. And the last is about organizations of joint research program, lectures, and symposiums. Okay, so for the second point about the challenges it is the remit of infrastructure, facilities, equipment, and laboratory. As you know, in 2007, when we finished building this campus, so this is for only 14 programs, 14 programs. But now, up to now, we have 60 programs, but the buildings are still the same. The buildings are still the same, so it's difficult to organize the classroom teaching. And constrained resource allocation for public higher education. As you know, the government has limited budget to support the state university. It happens to all university now. And it certain capacity and skills of teaching, academic and administrative staff. So here, because I can say it's we have young staff, and we don't have experience. So we are now trying to improve this. For the quality answering system, is we develop, but it's still big. We can say improving, but immature national and institutional higher education quality management system. For the outdated curricular program design, as to know, maybe most of the programs, most of the curriculum are still out of date. So we need to develop every maybe 3 years or 5 years, because now everything changes very fast. And the curriculum not coordinated with labor market needs and action of university industry cooperation. We rarely, cooperate with the, how can I say, the company or factories. It means to share with us about the setting the curriculum. So maybe this is challenges. And the last one is lack of funding and capacity for research activities. So moreover, the international scenario at higher education level is characterized by the following current problems. The first is big capacity among students and academic staff in foreign languages, especially English. So this offer, it happened with when we have the scholarship offer from other university. So we make an announcement to the students, but they cannot reach, how can I say, they reach the staff, criteria, sorry, reach the criteria that they said, because they said maybe English should be level 4 or 5, whatever. So our students are, poor of English. And lack of competency and homogeneous credit recognition and transfer system. For the credit recognition, I would like to give you an example. One of our staff who studied in Australia. So when he first arrived in Australia, he has to had to take English course. If you did not pass the English course, you have to study maybe the lower degree, for example, because when you want to study master, but you do not pass the English course, you have to study bachelor degree or something. That's an example. And low internationalization standards and financial support schemes for students and staff mobility. As you know, now we are facing big problem with this. Imbalance between inbound and outbound student flow. As you know, now we have 19 inbound students, as the Vice President said, 15 from Sichuan Pana Vocational College, and 4 from Vietnam, Vietnamese students. And now we have only 3 outbound students. The students from the Faculty of Engineering who are now studying in Shanghai Institute of Technology. Only 3 students in it. So imbalance. And lack of awareness on international funding sources for research. The challenges for students. The challenges for students, actually, we got this from conducting a SWOT analysis for international recession last year. This is from the students who answered the questionnaire. So they said it's not able to meet the language and academic requirement. The second is the aware of any opportunity to go. So similar to what the challenges I mentioned before. And third, not sure whether the course they gain from abroad will be accepted at Panabong University. Panabong. Because you know, when they study abroad, when they come back, the students will have problem because a few of them who used to go abroad, so they face this problem. Do not have adequate fund for going on exchange. Last few months, the students were invited to join training in China, but they had to take care of all of the expenses from to China. But when they arrived in China, the Chinese government or other university will take care of it, but they had to pay for traveling or from Laos, for example. Cannot find the right course to study abroad. And about the cultural diversity, environment, the weather are also challenges. Here, I just want to mention because the students, they never left their parents. When they want to go abroad, they just imagine what's the environment will be. So that's another challenge. For the strategy, we are going to increase internal and external cooperation, opportunity and reputation of issue by using website or whatever. Attracting more international students and partnership for attracting more international students and partnership. Here we have to set up the international program. Increase student and staff mobility opportunity for the youth, improving accommodation. As now we still have problem with accommodation. For example, when we have like exchange staff or students, we do not have, for example, dormitory where to stay. So it's, for example, the student from China wanted to study here, but we do not have the dormitory. So they moved to study in the National University of Laos. Improving the language proficiency of students, staff, lecturers, and researchers, for sure. Developing international programs, improving quality and assessment system, improving credit transfer system, joining research with partner universities, conducting numbers of academics and cultural events with partner universities, seeking for funding for students, staff, lecturer, and researcher mobilities. Seeking for funding for students. I'd like to tell you, Mr. Robert Lawrence Acker, who is sitting here, is one of the founders that give the scholarship to our students. Now he has supported Sukarno University for more than 550 million kids already. Please give a big hand for him. Okay, so that's all for my sharing information. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you very much for sharing with us about information on international cooperation and also the international work, especially with the partner countries. Our team sorry. Sorry for that. Please wait for a while because our team is not working to make sure that our next speaker can deliver a talk because he's going to talk online as well. Ladies and gentlemen, now I'd like to invite Dr. Laban Wong Kamsan, the Director of General Department of Higher Education, Institute of Education and Sports. Dr. Laban has been working in different roles, ranging from teachers, researchers, and senior managers. He also has published research papers internationally, nationally. So now, please let me allow to welcome Dr. Laban, the Director of Higher Education, to deliver a talk. Please welcome.
Okay, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So your voice is quite not clear for me. First of all, dear Madam Chair and distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to thank Sukarno Universities and partners to invite me to share some activities that we in on behalf of the higher education department. So first of all, I would agree with the two speakers as a Vice President of Sukarno University and Mr. Hong Kam, because it's quite over of my presentation today. So on behalf of the higher education, I would share some what we done, share some regulation and some rules for umbrella of the higher education institution in Laos. Today I would next, please. Yes. First of all, I would share some policy challenge and strategy of the higher education sectors of the Ministry of Education and Sports. The first, next please. Okay. Next please. Okay. First policy, right now we have some right in our country we member of the ASEAN country. We call the CALOHEA. CALOHEA means the higher education of the ASEAN member countries. Because of the education is considered about the most important to drive for a country access to the development goals of our country. So scope of work, degree of higher education institutions, responsibility of the Department of Higher Education, and management higher education institution, both public and the private institution. So then we report to the Minister of Education and Sport to guide, manage, and promote the work higher education of Lao PDR. For the Lao PDR educational system, we provide associate degree, bachelor, master, and doctoral degree in Laos. And then right now we have the national qualification framework because of higher education institution to provide quality assurance, because right now we have to national quality assurance and AUN, right, or ACAN. And then next slide, please. Okay, thank you. So the higher education regards public goods by national authorities knowledge is potential contribute to country development agenda and promote economics growth through upgrade skill within the national workforce and boost research innovation within economic domains. In this regard, Department of Higher Education has laid policy articulation of the fields as the first. We have law on higher education issued by the 2020s, and then we have to under rules of the law, right? And then we have agreement on the management of scientific research of higher education institution. Then we have 9 5-year national education and sports sector development plan, 5-year 2020 to 2025. Next slide, please. For the challenge, maybe it's not different from the Suparnawong University because we have the same situation in our country, especially for the 4 university and the Ministry of Education and Sports. We have to challenge about the limited of infrastructure. Then limited of resource allocation of the higher education of state, especially for the budget. And then scale of administrative, technical, and teaching staff, we have to face integrate. Yes. For the quality assurance, but we have regulation, but some institution, especially for the institution under another ministry and private institution, we don't have quality assurance yet. And then higher education curricula are not consistent with the demands of the labor and lacks of cooperation between university and industry. As you know, in our country, maybe number of the industry is quite limited. And then, so right now we encourage university or higher education institution to cooperate with private company or private industry to collaborate about it, how to enhance student can do with the company. And then we have the funding capacity for scientific research is still limited. So before that, we don't have any fund to support research. But right now we have a national research funds belong to the Ministry of Education and Sports. So we quite have some research topics for the like provide for the 4 university. Another challenge, the international curriculum course still limited. Yes, like Suparnawong University, right now we have international course, just few courses. So that's a problem with the international cooperation or like mobility of the students, something. And then international standards and budget support for students and staff exchange are limited. Like Mr. Thongkham said that about the we have just outbound, inbound survey. Now number of student inbound is quite limited because we don't have budget for support this course. And also we have a limited of international course, especially for the English course. And then imbalance between enrollments and graduation of students. As you know, after the COVID pandemic, we have problem with the enrollment of students in the university or the higher education institution right now. And then lack of awareness of international funding sources of the scientific research, technical development, as I mentioned. For our strategic priority in the mobility or internationalization of higher education sectors, the first, we have to improve English language skill first, especially for student, staff, office, and academic staff, because of this main problem of internationalization or mobility. And then develop knowledge and project management and fundraising. So I talk before. Right now we encourage university to how to get some fund from the outside of university to help them. But it's a big problem of our higher education institution right now. So management strategy for international cooperation, we have to improve, like international office, international cooperation office of for the 4 universities, and then interaction with international cooperation capacity building program. As I mentioned, we have to cooperate with the Mekong region, ASEAN, and European by the Erasmus Plus and International Cooperation Organization. We continue to encourage international cooperation unit service for the 4 universities under Ministry of Education and 1 university under Ministry of Health, and also higher education institution under another ministry and private higher education institution. For the all of activity like research, capacity of the staff or faculty members to develop by themselves. And the priority 3, increase international cooperation in the implementation. For the we have plan to 2021 to 2025 education and sport development part plan or higher education subsector. suggest improve the teaching learning infrastructure and study possibility of establishing technology institution. And the second, promote student study natural science, because we have plan for the support student to study STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, or encourage student to natural resource science, provide scholarship to student. Right now, we have some fund to help them to study STEM. And the priority for the university explore cooperation with the other higher education institution and private company to cooperate to and develop artificial intelligence like as AI. So this is we focus on how to cooperate of the university and private to like digitalization for instead the traditional teaching method. And then higher education should seek cooperation and support to improve accreditation and credit transfer unit for promote cooperation, because this credit transfer is the most important of university right now. Like I totally agree previous speaker to how to improve accreditation. So, but in our policy, we have to focus on the improve accreditation. And then right now we are thinking about the how to do some micro credential of the university. Maybe we have to discuss more about the micro credential in the for university in the near future. And then improve the relationship between job internship, research for student and the labor market. For the internship is the most important of student who learning in the university. So very important for us. So we have to focus on this matter is better in the near future. And the last, exchange lesson from the abroad to improve distance learning or e-learning. So after COVID-19, after COVID pandemic, we have a policy, we have like a regression for the how to improve university by themselves to how to teach by e-learning by some like face-to-face, but we have policy in our macro level right now. So that's my brief of the what we done in Department of Higher Education, and we have challenge and have strategy for the future. So first of all, lastly, I would say congratulations of the 20th anniversary of the Suvarnabhumi University, and wish you all to the best and good cooperation among the university. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Associate Professor Dr. for sharing very significant information with us. So now let's move on to the discussion and Q&A session. So please wait for a while our teams arranging the seats on the stage.
Okay, if you have a question, please speak clearly, because your voice is not clear for me, for my computers.
So now I'd like to invite all speakers visiting on the stage.
When we start this discussion and questions about rethinking our speakers and presentation. The idea that if you have questions or comments, as we presented in the second part, this let us know. Introduce yourself and put your question or whether you would like to address where they feel like that.
Let me ask you to start questions first. This question is good. We have 2 minutes to ask the questions. The first question is, for contact hours, how do we measure the content for delivery? And the second, that is how much content is good balance. For example, I am teaching English phraseology for some sessions. I teach 3 minutes. For other sessions, I teach 2 minutes. This is the question for the same.
This will allow you to decide how much because recently the students need to practice, and they need to be able to explain later, demonstrate, analyze, to apply. What is it that they need to do? Once you clear all this, you can decide on the activities you need to go through in order to achieve this level. And once you're clear on the activities, then you can decide how many of them is when we have them in, and when the numbers according to your regulation. So if you have only so many numbers to be, which of these activities must happen where you as a teacher are present, and which can happen outside these hours, which will be best done by the students outside the contact hours, who at least you can say, okay, I don't have enough time in the contact hours, while the content, maybe they can read it outside of my house, because if they are reading, they don't need to be there together as a teacher. So this is a bit of a general answer, but again, to have nothing like this, you need to decide according to the learning outcomes, to your students' starting points, and to the number of devoted hours which you have. I hope that this gives a partial answer to the question.
Thank you, Dr. Mary. The last question raised by our participants is that what are some key features of universities offering tuning implemented degree programs?
Again, thank you very much for the question. I think it's a core question. As I said, the first key point for the tuning is the student-centered approach. So we always say student-centered, and we understand it is similar to outcomes-based education. Because for us, the two go together. So if you are talking about the students, you are talking about outcomes. What will the students be able to demonstrate when they graduate? The knowledge, the skills, competences, attitudes, whatever the elements are in the national frameworks and the. So for us, this is the guiding principle, and once we know what we want our students to achieve, then we also focus on, as when I showed you the picture, that the program is designed both to serve the students, and with this serving the society, your industry, your country, and in an internationally comparable way. Because for us, it's also very important that from the start, the programs we design or redesign are compatible and comparable with other programs in the world. If you want, these are the two key principles out of which we have learning outcomes, we have the student control, the assessment, the participation of students in the project, and in the learning process, the collegiality of the teachers, so those who teach the program work together for the benefit of the students. There are many implications, but these are the two key: student-centeredness and outcomes-based in one hand, and compatibility and comparability in international contexts.
Thank you, Dr. Mary. Actually, many more questions are coming on my smartphone, so maybe if we have enough time, we can raise this question again after our discussion finished. Thank you.
Do you have any questions or comments in the
I will my some slides. Three keyword uses ethnic requirement. So for your country, the policy for requirement accreditation is in line with the period for after spendings. When they work, almost their salary is the same if from the nationality itself. This is I think is the one problem student university. So you have an experience
Thank you very much for this question and for sharing. But yes, it is indeed important to convince your employers that higher education is an added value. Because if not, your students are not convinced, your employers are not convinced, and it's like a vicious circle. It doesn't happen. What we try to do is to make sure that we ask the employers and the representatives of the society what they expect of the higher education graduates. So what do they want? Is what this and added value is extra will be. Because of course they can say, oh, if it's enough for them, it's not good for the people who just graduated from school. But I don't make a lower level. But at university you can prepare higher level. Maybe already leaders, maybe already lower level managers, whatever they are, but people who can lead teams who can. You know that after university is also not very high level leadership, because this developed later in the course of life. But once you are clear what employers will value, then as a university, because sometimes employers ask for too much. At least in our countries, this is the case. But then you find this intermediate situation where the university can deliver what the employers will value to make sure that the salary is higher, because also the competences are higher, the responsibilities are higher, so we really contribute to the organizations, to the businesses, whatever they go through, and then the students will also say, if I go to university, I can get a better job, I can get a better life. It's not simple, but you make it. There's a student question there. A comment?
Hello, teacher. I have a question to ask you. So now, student exchange program is very beneficial for us. So I want to know that do you have any suggestion or any recommendation to help us to be prepared?
The question is looking, right? No.
Answer, or maybe teacher answer.
Yeah. Thank you for the question. So, for exchange program, actually we do have many partner universities offer this as I presented to you before. So most of our students are not aware of this program. We do send announcement to the faculties, but many students they not get information. So the most important thing is that the student has to prepare and is to study hard of English. If you are good at English and your specific subject that match with the field that the other propose or offer, it is, I think we have more opportunities for our university. So if you cannot get the information next time, please contact our office, our office. We do have the office make an announcement for this. Thank you. In the near future, that now we have one program that Vietnam like this. When we study, it's about 2 or 3 years, and then to study in Vietnam country. And also now that I have been discussed with the President of the University side of the we will have the program for the Chinese language. Study here 2 years and study 2 years. And also student from the 2 years. Study 2 years and study 2 years. This is I think this will be good benefit for the student in the future because that we know the last time that lots of the students study English that they don't have chance to go abroad. We talk about to discuss with the native. So this is really good for us. But for general program, who may preparation for English language. We also have the short training in Thailand and Vietnam.
in lieu of also benefits of collaboration, but no student to so that thing is that if you let it go to the country is
My question is, in terms of explaining how you plan to overload for a student, like it's more appropriate.
Excuse me, I found it difficult to get your question.
Yes. How do you plan your lesson to overload for the students to make it more appropriate for them? How do you plan your lesson for the students to make it not overload?
How to make sure that students are not overloaded? Or
may I kindly come forward her? Her question is for Dr. Community, and she is interested about student workloads. She said, how do the teacher plan in order to ensure that students not too overload?
thank you very much. Thank you for the question and thank you for the comment. I think it's also about the question of acoustics. Yeah, another very, very sharp but very big question. I will go back to the idea that first for example, the employers will tell us that they expect so much from the university. Then the university needs to judge what is feasible. Because there is one question which we try to make sure that higher education is relevant and it's an added value, but we also know that we have only so much time that the university cannot do everything. So this is a question of program. How much we can do in the 4 years or 5 years of the bachelor, or in the 2 years of the 2-year bachelor. This is the first big question which exceeds one particular lecture. But it's a decision at the level of the program. Then if this decision is made well, and we know that in this 4-year time, for example, it's feasible for the students starting from where they start when they enter the university to get to where they need to be at the end of the 4 years, then we break it down into smaller steps. And once we have smaller steps, one of the steps will become the responsibility of the lecturer, of a particular lecturer. Okay, so now we get to your question. Now a lecturer, a teacher, gets a particular task. He or she is told that they have so much time for the student learning time to achieve the outcome for this particular course. Once this decision is made, the lecturer already has the information about the time students can spend. So it's not the lecturer who decides how much time a student should spend in learning for their course. It is a more program-level decision. The different lecturers discuss it, and maybe the program coordinator or the different lecturers together make the distribution. So then it is the responsibility of the lecturer to make sure that if I'm a lecturer and I'm told that my students can spend 50 hours on my course, then it's my responsibility to make sure I don't make the task for 100 hours. I can give them for 52, 48, because your students are different, but I must keep this number in mind. And then, of course, there is also a project coordinator who hopefully will monitor that the lecturers are complying with what is given. And then, of course, the lecturer's task is also to say, I have so much time, my students need to learn so much. What are the most effective activities for students to engage in? Because we can all give students a lot of activities, because we all believe that our subject is the most important, or because we just think it's a good activity, but we didn't think whether there is a better one which is more effective. This is the kind of thinking how the lecturers don't go wrong. First, the program level decision, then the lecturer's responsibility to keep within the margins agreed in the program. You see that we're already entering in deep discussions.
All our participants very active, ask many questions. I hope so. This is really last question. The most authentic assessment for pedagogy students is likely to be teaching practice. Should there be theory-based assessment? Theory-based assessment.
The question, I think my groups in education agree that teaching practice is the most authentic way to show all the possibilities. But we know that at least in learning, there are several steps. And we need this foundation before we can ask students to go into the classroom and teach. It will not be very considerate towards our students to send them directly into the classroom and ask them to be a teacher. If they can do it from the start, then why do they come to the university? So there is this first layer. We can discuss, of course, is it important to first have experience and then acquire theoretical knowledge, or is it a related cycle? But yes, if you want your students to be knowledgeable as well as skilled, and it is in our thinking, in order to assume responsibility, you need to be both knowledgeable and skilled. Otherwise, you don't know when to apply what skill. There is also the theory-based assessment, because you need to make sure that your students make informed choices, that they can reflect and be reflected actions and so in this sense, yes, there is space for that.
Thank you, Mary. Actually, we have a question. This is the limited time, so we couldn't address these questions in the morning session. But we guarantee that those questions will be addressed in the afternoon session. So now, I'd like to thank the presenter for sharing the valuable thoughts and time with us. Thank you once again. So we would like to express our gratitude to our speakers by sharing the talk. So I'd like Dr. Maria to share the talk with our speakers. Thank you very much for the very productive introduction and sharing. So, on behalf of the committee, I'd like to I do apologize for unable to have a coffee break during the time limit. So, we're going to move on to the last session in the morning. So, ladies and gentlemen, in this session, our local speakers will share their experience on the challenges of authentic assessment to promote student mobility, degree recognition, national decision, and industry-related graduates. Actually, our speaker comes from different sectors, including public and private sectors, as well as we have the former students who graduated from Spartan University. Ladies and gentlemen, to restart the session, I'd like to invite Dr. Santo Pantapanya, Director of Academic Affairs Office from Spartan University, to share with us academic workplace work.
So, it's not at the beginning for the slides, that's Dr. Bokosit mentioned already about the general information for Sohan University. So I just asked about this slide. Okay. So for my session today, I will present three topics. First, currently situation for students and communities, and also the labor market need, especially for students for university, University. And the second part, I will present about the role of academic staff to students and community. And third, we will discuss about the challenge and suggestion for the student community. So this slide, I would like to show about the challenge for the student decrease year by year. As Dr. Moses says, and also Dr. Rahman says about the issue from the students decrease since when COVID-19 pandemic come to large all in the world. So the students, especially in university, decrease for smaller universities. This year, the students enrollment decreased by 69% because of the economic pressure. And meanwhile, most of our students who studies in universities came from the poor family, especially from the northern part. And then now students can choose the source of study, whether study in Asia or abroad.
especially from China, Vietnam, and Thailand. Also, the demand of the labor market is still high for get the labor from graduates or people who work in the company or own business. So you can see this slide. I will just show you the errors and splits of 2003 to 2023. You see that the strength errors are decreased. So far, our universities, we got the data from the online how the working in the employment rates of the graduates from universities. Mostly they work almost able to beat the government rather than the own business and work with the company. This is our data from the alumni. This slide is I would like to share with you. As you know, the student communities can like a special program for giving knowledge, skill, and exchange culture together between Asian countries or across countries. So, but our program is the financial issue. If we don't have the budget or funds for support the students, we cannot go to abroad or country in the ASEAN. And the last, I'd like to say you about the suggestions about the state mobilities between recognized and nationalizations for the futures. My opinion, as we know, the internationalizations is high. High presence in the world. And the most important is the practice is most important from the states when we have the exchange program. And now, Sukarno universities, we don't have yet for the international program, but almost the program that we have teaching and learning in university almost languages. So in the future, we try to improve and create the international program for foreigners to come study in Laos, especially in Istanbul University. As Dr. Musid says, our priority for studying Istanbul University. So we have the first program is we talk about the tourism management, and second is civil engineering. So now we try to create an international program majoring in the tourism management, and in terms of the strategic plan for Istanbul University, not only the tourism management, but we will consider another program for service for change the program like China or Vietnam to come to study together in one university. So this is this point we will improve in the future, and also we consider about the credit transfer because now we just have collaborate between 4 universities in Laos. When students study in Spanish university, they can move to study in national university. But we just observe the credit and also the subject like is similar, and we approve for students to come to study another university. That's but in the future, I hope we will develop the curriculum, national curriculum, and also the international curriculum for foreigners to come to study in our university. That's one from hand. Listen. Thank you. Now let's move on to our next speaker. Please allow me to invite Mr. Kati Domani, a former student from Sukarno University, who teach at ECL English Language Center, to share his experience teaching at that school. Please welcome.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, all the teachers and students. My name is Mr. Kandi. I'm now an English teacher. I teach at, it's a private school. It's an English school. It's called English Clubhouse or ECL English Center. So I'm a representative of the school to be your speaker today. I'm very honored to be here today. So before I begin my point of view, I'd like to use this opportunity to thank all my teachers who worked really hard to help me to become an English teacher today. Thank you very much. I really, really appreciate your help. So today, I'd like to share the point of views about the challenges of authentic assessment to promote student mobility, degree recognition, international translation, industry rating ratings. Okay, sorry. Today I want to cover 4 different things. The first one is, what do employers expect from employees? So I'm not an employee. Today I will speak as I'm an employer. And the second one is significance of authentic assessment. And the third one is international standard of education. And the last one is internationalization or students' mobility. First one, what do employers expect from employees? So actually, there are a lot of expectations, but today I want to talk about the main important points. So the first one is specific knowledge. So students need to learn specifically, know to be what they are learning, to be able to use in the future, to do well with their jobs in the future. And to do that, they need the second one, which is pay attention, focus what they are doing, and in order to get good results. And the next one is punctuality. So of course we all know the time is the most precious thing in the world. If we lose money, we can get it back. But if we lose our time, we never ever get it back. So time is the most precious thing in the world. We can't take it back. And sorry. And the next one is teamwork. So if, as the saying, if you want to go far, go alone. But if we want to grow and reach our goals and purposes, we need to go as a team. So it's a very important skill that students need to learn this skill to work as a team to go further. The next one is communication skills and positivity. So communication skills are also important for every student to work with an organization or anywhere. So, and also when we face problems, we need this one, which is positivity. Means everything happens to bring us something. It brings us lessons. We learn something from it. We grow from it. We learn from mistakes. And learning and adaptability. So keep learning because life never stops teaching. So, for example, being a teacher, I always keep learning and also students to do it too, to do well in their job because everything is changing rapidly in this modern world. Next one is leadership, confidence, and learning from mistakes. So everyone should be a leader and be confident to change, to do in your career, your purposes, whatever your goals are, be here to do it. And of course, we'll face problems and we can learn from mistakes. And the last one is also a very important skill, computer skills. So now it's the 21st century. Everyone should know, especially students who want to get jobs in the future, they should know how to use computer to work and to communicate also. It's very important. And the next thing is significance of authentic assessment. What students learn should match with real-life conditions or situations. And they should be ready to face challenges and unpredictability situations which may come in the future. Of course, this is also very important. As a teacher, I teach at an English center, and I'm very proud of them when I see my students. They can, after learning English, they can get a job in a hotel, in a restaurant, or in shops around the town. So I'm very, very proud of them. So it's very important what we see right now in our daily life or situations now should match with what we are learning. After learning, they need to be able to use the knowledge to apply in their daily life. So that's very important. And next one is international standard of education. So education is a powerful weapon which is the key to make sustainable development of a country. So let's say, imagine not just international standard, but just discuss here in maps. Imagine if we have the same quality or standard everywhere from north to the south, like in Japan, for example. So students don't have to worry which university is the best, which college should I go to. So it's the same as the like international in ASEAN or in anywhere. If we have the same quality or same standard of education, and then it will be easy, much easier for students to study. They can make a decision where to want to study because it's the same. So. And last one is internationalization or student mobility. Every student has their own unique ability to make a difference. If there are more exchange programs or more opportunities for students to study abroad, that will be a wonderful thing. So me personally, I had an opportunity to have an exchange program to Mekong University in Thailand, and that time it was wonderful. I learned a lot, even it was such a short period of time, but I learned a lot of things that I can apply to my job to me now. So it's very important. And again, I heard from teacher Tom Tam. He talked about that. Exchanging programs like this, the most important thing is our students should be ready, should work hard before the scholarships come. So now we know where we can get a scholarship, we know exactly where it is. But the thing is, we can't reach that point. So what we need to do now is to work, which is the exchanging program, because it's very important to students, and of course, in the future, in the work. So even if it doesn't matter if it's short period of time or if it's longer, that's great. So, that's the end of my presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here today. He's my student as a former student. It was great fun. So now, let's move on to the next speaker. I'd like to invite Mr. Bunko, our Chief Executive Founder of our group, to share his experience working with the company as CEO and founder. Please welcome.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. First, let me introduce myself. I'm CALOHEA 0 years. So we were founder of the group and PDR. A great thing was that we in development management of the group. I was working with many principals, and I started the business in 2002. Meetings, business is, I would say that this has many kinds of business, but most of them are two kinds of businesses. Education, because college, for under diploma is business administration and English. And the other one is for the design, assessment, and consulting. Of course, there are shares more than which is in Laos and some which is in Thailand. Okay, I do not say that this is business, this is financial experience. The others, of course, the others will have other experience. I would say that first, driven the technology, with the change by chance, trends, of course, every year. We just look back at the application system. Something changed on the still keep just like before. Of course, everyone knows about COVID pandemic since 2020. And of course, everyone knows everything has changed. Learning system has changed. Working has changed. And of course, we business has changed also. Some of the business is gone, and some new business is focused on. This is want to share some information from other countries. This is I don't know because they said that actually it has 1.5 years and 2 years only. But we our program focus is very because now we know everything has to be fast. And to do the system also. And of course, we talk about learning. That's why, and this is not really for now, we do not need to go to school or to city to get a diploma. But the thing is, we have to focus on the subject or skill level that we need, because not everyone need to get a diploma or need to reach out to a master degree or PhD, something like that. Because when we talk about the degree, some people they will think that okay, I finished or I graduated already. I don't need to learn anymore. But nothing will happen. Everything has changed. And they can also we will talk about it. We know that when we have collection, this is a really nice how to say, still they cannot get a really useful from the support lecture, but they will have the skill on the practice, right? This is we know in the term of the education system, but we still have 2 months lecture, right? I really like one guy in the party is really old teachers. He said that the education is really to still to think themselves to serve and to promote themselves. They can also the student come to us in our company or
Most of them cannot say. This is not that everyone be like that. But most of them cannot say the program because they thought that okay, the teachers have to give them all the way into the city. We need to learn more about the context of the city. And of course, in the company, they don't like that. The boss has to tell them everything, to teach them everything. Okay, this is what we have surfacing now, and we don't know. After COVID-19 pandemic, the number of students that chance to the university dropped out too much. And of course, this depends on many reasons. The early reasons or deep reasons. And of course, the student know, right? Before, if you don't have any social information, the student they know only that they will start the as much as possible, and then they will start. But now they know that the way of success is not only the way to the university. They have the choice. It's with them with what they have in their hands. So some of them they can start business, and some of them they can go to the school or to make some small business just like the same. But most of them, as I have faced in the past, that they come to us, they are not focused on the program. They just focus on okay, I will learn as much as possible to start my own business, something like that. Okay, for my experience, for my view, of course, now we don't know each us that we have to start with 20 years, and we will working for 20 years. And 3 years left for 20 years, plus for now, I can add on certain, okay, working, study, operating, business, this is the same thing. This is one thing that we can do together. Otherwise, we lost a lot of time in life. Yeah, I just want to share this picture because, of course, the first one, this is former president of China. It's a matter that White House or White Castle has it can cast the eyes. This is the good already. And one thing that I like to share is the future is now. It's fine that and talking here, we still familiar with our training center. Okay, you have to finish secondary school before you study in the university. But in the speaker can show us one child that he can start design a house when business is this is not easy. And the other pictures is the tree. This is technology. And the other picture I was here, I have seen that at the school in the OC, they learn engineering in the secondary school already. Okay, just back to the conclusion. I would say that for traditional education now, we are focused on the curriculum degree. Of course, many subjects that cannot use for reality or real situation. And of course, some of them can apply. Some of them can apply to reality. And some of them, when they start being into the university, they are not good with the subject they learn in the university. They do another thing. They just come here to
to get a diploma, maybe have some shop at the house and sell the something like that. But for the normal, we focus on the skill and focus on serving because most of the company they need to sell the product. And of course, if we think about the curriculum, we have to think about specifics and how to take really short time. And of course, we can upgrade this skill to upskill later on. For the next, we are often refer to the different years. The paper for either diploma must be 3 years and must be 4 years. But I have said earlier, the other countries they can have possibility just 2 years or 1 year. This is we have to think about that. And for the normal, we think about the result base. That means we can learn fast and regulate fast and grow fast. This is we know that the learning or teaching is in the right way. Otherwise, if we learn for 4 years and then we come to the level, maybe this need to go for recent situation. For the next, we are studying as high as possible. This is hard to adapt. I will say something like that because not everyone to study higher degree or diploma, but what we need in the market, labor market, we need a skill labor. For the normal, we learn and work and do business in the same time, as I said earlier before. And one thing that I would say is, especially for the engineering department, for the before COVID pandemic, of course, our students will work only in law, that technology in our countries. But now, because of the technology, we can work in the special expert in the overseas. I will talk more in the at the end of the because now because the technology we can work with the overseas with no any barrier. And of course now we have seen that number of students entrance in the university is decreased or because before we studied only in the university or in the library only, but now the students can have many information in the social from any social platform that they have information. But the problem students is they don't know how to choose the information that is good for them because they have a lot of information, but they don't know okay, the last part of the table, I would say that now it doesn't mean that people can have any qualified or free, but they have different qualities. For example, for the education system, if you follow the system, this is qualified, operation enough. That means if you come to school and you get a diploma, you learn all the subjects according to the time period. That means this is complete. But for the company or the employee, they are not concerned about the diploma or certificate too much. They concerned about it. You can serve and of course the student they have their own idea for working. They are not focused on the problem. They focus on what they really like or what they want to do. Not to solve the problem. They want to do what they want to do. This is very to see some students. Of course, in the design company, we have lots of parts of design. That's like model or structural analysis, and of course, for transportation, something like that, process. But you know, he asked me to work on the structural analysis design. But what about the for the rest of the job? For the modeling, for the cost estimate, for the site construction solution. You see, it doesn't mean we don't have anything for it, but it's different for from the education system, from the company or employer, and of course from the student and the project. But how to solve this problem? I think that we have to be partner with the government strategy, and of course, especially for the labor and social department of ministry, because this part will monitor the labor law. That university we know that which parts of the skill labor that business or investment will work and we have focus the skill and that pass for the business or and of course we have to work mostly with company. They will have the access to process. Let me say something that normally now, all the companies now for the security engineer or but you know that we are not but the capability that we decided to see for 4 years, but we just like or people that is okay, for the last part, for traditional, this is talking about engineering. For the last part, of course, we are working in the camp. About camp, this is a useful in the past. But now, for the development, we have decided technology already, just like it. We know this is a technology served for the state engineers in the general design. That means is building information modeling. Yeah, this is to serve the problem because for the camp, this is a student they have to draw the 2D picture. But the software to draw one thing in the 3D model and got the 4D plan for the design or something like that. You present this is the technology. And for the next part is the CT, information modeling. That means for the technology for the design is open state from the people. That means we are not talking about one building, we are talking about a city already. And of course for the regional, this is what happened situation in the design and construction world. So I just share my information for now. This is meeting, especially for the engineering. Okay. Okay. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much for sharing very important information, especially the skills that required by the law. We already hear lots of story, experience, knowledge from the supply side, especially teachers or education providers. Now it's time to hear a voice from students, especially those who are still in the university. We would like to invite Ms. Noi, the student of academic education, to talk about experiences learning academic education.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm who are on science in My name is I am a student at Faculty of majoring in English teaching in year 4. I'm and I'm thanks for the opportunity for me to share my experience, share my idea. So today I would like to share to you about so the topic I would like to share today are the things that I have and benefits for exchange programs, challenges for exchange students, and finally, the opportunity for exchange students. So let's have the standardized curriculum. What is that? It is a body of content knowledge that students are expected to learn and based on their information which are within the school experience. A standardized one follows as a set of the common goals and content and assignments that are aligned with the additional and state standards. One curriculum should be the same standard. So it means learning and teaching consistent. Curriculum can provide consistent that ensure equitable instruction that can help the student to get their experience in their standard, in the aspect of the study field. Also, if the student is Carnival University or in other university that a chance to go on an exchange program, they also can study in other university but within having to drop out their study because our university will have the same standardized curriculum so that can help the student learn in other universities within dropping their major field. For example, if you learn 1 year in Stanford University and another 6 months in Thailand or going 1 year in America and Japan, graduate from their study field. Let's talk about the advantages of the same standardized curriculum. So first, it promotes the high expectation for all of the students. Second, the information can become more meaningful and easier to understand for all of the students who like to go on an exchange program. And let's talk to benefits of exchange program. There are many benefits for exchange students. First, education benefits. Students will experience new system of learning and they will get problem-solving skills. The second is long-term benefits. So the development new interests. When the students go on an exchange program, they can develop their new interests by it can be education skills or personal skills that based on the career. And the second one is develop self-confidence. When students are away from their home in another country, it can help students to build up their confidence and developing their cultural sensitivity. And students will gain more knowledge about trends of another language and culture. So students will feel more confident and comfortable for in foreign environments. And the third is personal benefits. First is development of lifelong friendships. When the exchange program increase the lifelong program increase their friendships by other students, they can make friends in many parts of the countries. If we have a chance to go on an exchange, because we meet a lot of students from these parts of the world. And students also can make informed decision and strive to attain grad schools and personality development. So when they go on an exchange, they see the new experience, see the new friends, and unique and learning experiences. It can be easily to developing their new students to be confident in themselves and also maybe have many skills in their field of study. Students will get more opportunity to explore new places in around the world and also can help the student to learning specialized educational in the school. And the lastly is self-awareness. So when students learn or stay far away from their home, they will learn their conditions and how they affect to others. And next one, so there are many challenges for exchange students. Today, I will focus on the challenges that exchange students face in their exchange program. First, finding suitable accommodation. So it is difficult to find suitable housing when they are not unfamiliar with the local rental markets or the housing regulation. So the challenges that students face are the cost of living and housing, quality of housing, also the roommate preference. The second is the travel time for difference. This is might be one of the challenges for exchange students because when it is always happening, we adjusting to new times, and it might be the shift of working hours, and it is hard to keep things with the family or friends because the time zone is different. So sometimes they like to update or they like to talk about this story life with their family or friends. It is hard for them to wake up in the middle night to just keep in touch with their family. So in this case, can cause the unhappy state for the exchange student. And next one is another challenges is managing finances. So no matter even if you manage your finances flawlessly, sometimes it to make you feel like you yourself broke or with the money that you manage because the cost limit is hard. And another challenge is language boundaries are difficult to overcome. So in this case, no matter how we are, when this or any actually the accents, it can be very barrier for us to overcome. That's like sometimes it strong accent or the intermediates from here in another country, it can make us feel like can be hard for us to understand and we have to learn. Also, studying hard and it can be stressful for us to learn the language. And next one is the emotion of homesickness. So when everything around you is unfamiliar, it is natural to feel homesick. Homesickness in benefits students include missing family or friends, missing the food or environment in their hometown, and even with their cultural aspiration. And this one is learning style. This might be a struggle, student might be struggle with adapting with this different learning style with that can be including the expected learning style or independent research and even interactive style. And in safety, when we are in the world, safety is one of the major issues that we have to be careful about because we are don't know the environment accommodation that we stay in, so we have to find this information around the environment that we stay in to help us to stay. Then when my culture or the scammer that they want to get so you have to be careful with that. And this one is not learning about the complex experience. The last one is cultural differences. This one can be a student who experience challenges about the co-educational or even if the communicate style that different, and also food or the holidays and even the celebration. Yeah, and the last one is for exchange students. So first thing, platform is for participants. And students can work well with the other social funds. And they will get a global education advancement. And learn and embrace present culture. Also, develop campaigns and get new friends from other parts of the world. You can have opportunity to study, teach, and conduct research, exchange ideas, and contribute to find solutions to share international concerns. And I believe that the most people in here are interested in being an exchange student. So I am also one of those people who hopes to be an exchange student. But I have today I want to share some students that they have been on an exchange program before. So what do they get in this program? Two of the students who are invited behind their leave is Pit and school. So they are a student at Faculty of Education. They graduated from the Faculty of Education 2 years ago. They got a chance to be an exchange student in 2019. And then program and UNESCO is being RCT and Administrative Advanced Workshop and International Competition. So, firstly, it's promote friendship and understanding of other cultures and also the leadership skills. And lastly, they could connect and make friends with many people in many parts of the world. And lastly, they also give lifelong life exchange experience. So in closing, we have one. So if you have a chance for exchange program, don't miss that opportunity. Pack your bags and face all of the advantages in being an exchange student. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much for sharing lots of information on exchange program. So now let's move on to the last speaker. I want to invite Ms. Program, a student from the Faculty of Engineering.
So, thank you for having me for today. Let's introduce myself. My name is Kavita and now currently a student from Civil Engineering United States. So today I'm going to talk about the three main points of challenges of academic assessment to promote student quality, internationalization, industry-related engagement. So the first part I would like to talk about challenges and academic assessment to promote student mobility. I'm sorry, my presentation has not necessary track. This is my content. First, I would like to talk about challenges of academic assessment to promote morality. And academic assessment can present challenges when it comes to promoting student morality or the ability for students to transfer credit or financial actors in institutions or countries. So, and this problem is the topic. The big problem in the topic is the language barriers. Academic assessment may have on language skill or cultural knowledge. It can create barriers for a student who cannot speak the language or who come from different cultural backgrounds. I would like to say about internationalization. Internationalization refers to progress of integrating international perspective and experience into various aspects of education, including curriculum, research, and student experience. And give some example of internationalization in education. Include the first is study abroad, and the second is international student exchange. And I would like to tell about our major. Yeah, we don't have exchange student before, but in the future, I would like to be an exchange student. And the last part. Industry ready. Industry ready is a term used to describe the student who can employ excessively skilled knowledge and experience to begin working in the specific industry immediately of the graduates are typically equipped with a plan of technical interpersonal and professional skills that are accessible in the current job market. And it takes some of the key characteristics of an industry graduate. And the First, I think technical skills should be technical skill, interpersonal skill, professional skill, industry-specific knowledge, and different experience. You should have 5 for every. And being an industry graduate is important for education, institution, and incorporate learning opportunity and equip students with the skills and experience they need to become industry ready. Yeah, this is for today. And I would like to say thank you for your listening, attention, and thank you so much.
Thank you very much for sharing experience. Now let's move on to the discussion Q&A session. So good. Thank you. We will have a discussion Q&A on the stage, but instead we will to ask if you have any questions or share comments, please share your thoughts. Okay, thank you for having your questions. Very good. Okay, before lunch break, I'd like to invite all of our speakers on the stage to receive the tokens. All speakers on the stage. Thank you very much. And then before our lunch break, message that our audience start at 1:30. So I kindly request our participants to be on time so we can finish our session earlier. And I'd like to announce that if a student from the faculty of education should be assembled in the faculty in the meeting of the faculty of languages next to the fish pond. And those who are from the engineering faculties should be assembled in this meeting room so that we can start session earlier. So it's time for the announcement. All participants, we have a lunch break outside. Students as well who are present here. I'm not on the side,